Destiny 2 has a ton of bizarre tricks that are very useful. There are ways to get free ammo out of thin air, get loot from standing still, and so much more. I'm Marshix and I make Destiny 2 guides for solo players, and also whatever this is. You can get free ammo out of thin air and stack other effects to make some really cool builds. Ascension allows you to jump up and jolt everything around you, but for some reason, this will copy the effects of your equipped swords. So if you have a sword with chain reaction, your Ascension will make enemies explode. If you have an Ergo Sum with Colony's insect perk, your Ascension will create tons of insects. Stormbringer will create lightning clouds, Lament will heal you, Cold Steel will apply slow, and Relentless Strikes and Blade Stamina will make it so you can get free ammo out of thin air. And you can spam your Ascensions back to back if you just pop your super first. While you're in your Silk Strike super, you will get unlimited class abilities. This means you can spam Ascensions over and over for arguably better ad clear than the actual super. But unfortunately, while you're in your super, you don't technically have a sword in your hand, so you won't get the extra sword buffs. After 14 years, Gambit has finally gotten a minor update. And what I realized while playing Gambit is you can pick up motes from far away. Powerful Attraction is a class item mod that allows you to pick up orbs of power from a distance each time you activate your class ability. However, this will also pick up motes in Gambit, which means you don't even have to be that close, and you can easily steal motes from your teammates even through walls. And with Radiant Dance Machines giving you unlimited dodges, this is just hilarious. You can get infinite Tessellation shots. Tessellation lets you consume your grenade to get a really powerful shot that will explode on impact. But if you pop your Song of Flame super, Tessellation will not consume your grenade charge at all, allowing you to shoot it over and over with no cooldown for the entire duration of your super. And if you're using a solar grenade with it, Song of Flame will also make it scorch. One of the best parts of Strand is being able to throw tangles and grapple to them to quickly move around the map. But with Prismatic, you don't really make too many tangles. But if you run Gunpowder Gamble, you can charge up a big grenade that you can also grapple to. Just get a few ability kills to charge this, then throw it like a tingle and fly around the map. You can easily disable Shriekers and ships. If you have a grenade launcher with disorienting grenades, enemies will not be able to attack you. And this is the same with Shriekers. Shoot a Shrieker with your grenade launcher and it will immediately close. And you can continue to blind it to keep it closed forever. And this will also work with Threshers too. And if you don't want to use a blinding grenade launcher, you can simply shoot the turrets off of most ships. This includes Fallen ships, Cabal ships, and even Hive ships. This next trick lets you stand still and get free stuff, just like today's sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh offers delicious food that's easy to make. You order the exact meals that you want on their website, then in just a few days, they'll ship you a box full of fresh, pre-portioned ingredients to make your food. Then just follow the simple step-by-step recipes and you can make gorgeous food like this. Trust me, if I can do this, you definitely can too. HelloFresh is healthier and cheaper than takeout, and since everything comes straight to your door, you don't even have to leave your house, which is very convenient because I never leave my house. And HelloFresh has tons of different meals to choose from. There are over 50 dinner options and over 100 seasonal and convenience items to choose from every week, so there's always something for everyone. And like I said before, you can get free stuff. Click the link in the description or use my code on screen and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. That's one breakfast item per box while your subscription's active in the US. Outside the US, the local discount will apply. And if you decide you don't like it, you can always cancel at any time. But trust me, you're gonna want to keep it. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Bungie made a big mistake. You can just stand still and get free loot. Open a private match, make it zone control with 25 points, then load into it by yourself. Capture at least one zone, then just stand still for a little bit. Once you reach 25 points, it will count as a normal Crucible match, giving you event currency like silver leaves, giving you progress towards bounties, and giving you progress towards the Xenology quest from Xur that gives you exotic ciphers every week. Why play with a team in Crucible when you can just play with yourself? Somehow, this hasn't been patched yet. During the first mission in the Lightfall campaign, if you go to orbit right after you kill the Tormentor, you will get a checkpoint for this exact spot. Then you can pass the checkpoint to a friend or a second account, swap to another character, walk forward 50 feet and get in the Cabal, and you will get tons of event currency. Then you can load the checkpoint again to farm it over and over for tons of currency every minute or so. I was getting 10 to 11 silver leaves per run, and I believe this method has worked for every event in the past year and a half, so I don't see this going away anytime soon. But with my luck, they'll probably decide to patch this the day this video goes out. This exotic makes rocket sidearms even better. Hazardous propulsion will store up rockets with every kill. Then you can release these rockets by using your class ability. Whenever these hit an enemy, you will get a 35% damage buff for all other rockets. Most people assume this just means rocket launchers, but this also applies to rocket sidearms, Wolfpack rounds from Gallahorn and also Ergosum, the nanotech rockets from Neomuna weapons, Quicksilver Storm's rockets that it shoots out, and even Grand Overture's massive volley of missiles. You can easily stack multiple buffs to make your melees crazy. In Prismatic, we have access to Facet of Dawn to become Radiant after every melee, Facet of Bravery to gun Unraveling rounds after every melee, and Facet of Blessing to heal after every melee. Then you can throw in aspects like Feed the Void to get Devour with every melee, Lightning Surge to get Jolt with every melee, Knockout to get Amplified with every melee, Consecration to apply Scorch with every melee, and you get the point. But it keeps going because exotic class items have things like Spirit of the Assassin to go invisible, Spirit of Caliban for explosive punches, Spirit of Synthoceps for a damage buff, Spirit of the Necrotic for poison, Spirit of Contact for chain lightning, and a lot more. Long story short, you can stack a bunch of these effects and make every punch give you like 7 buffs or more. Bungie got rid of the trick where you can rally with reserves and then swap to a different chess piece. But what they didn't fix is the same trick, but with threadlings. Basically, you just spawn a bunch of threadlings via your grenades, class abilities, threaded specters, or needle storm, then let them come back and purge. Now you can rally the flag to get all your abilities back, and you have max threadlings going into a fight. Raids and dungeons have the coolest titles like Fatebreaker, Kingslayer, Swift Peter, but all of these require your entire team to use all of the same element throughout the entire raid or dungeon. Then you have to do that again for every other subclass. However, you can run each encounter like normal, then right before you finish, have everyone swap their subclasses at the last second. Because it will only check when the encounter is complete, this will still count towards your triumphs, making it a minor inconvenience rather than a miserable 6-hour experience. You can get free strange coins. If you spend at least 47 strange coins at Xur, he will give you this Favor of the 9. This is a buff that lasts for 10 days, and while you have it, you have a chance of getting additional strange coins anytime you would normally get strange coins. Not a lot more, but more is more. So spend your coins if you have them, and start building up an even bigger stockpile for the following week. And while you're in the tower, you can focus for your favorite Onslaught weapons. As Zavala, he now has a new section called Attunements. This will allow you to pick a weapon from the Brave Arsenal, and whenever you run Onslaught, you will have a much higher chance of getting your chosen weapon, and therefore a lot more chances at a god roll. Still no shinies though, so I'm going to continue to boycott Onslaught until they put shinies back in the game. I encourage you to do the same thing, and we should also demand for more shinies, not just the old ones. Add them to Crucible, add them to GMs, add them to... Well, no, don't put them in Gambit. I don't want to play Gambit. The most annoying encounter in the new raid is Verity. You have to memorize every Guardian's armor, and since 90% of this game is just reskins, it's very easy to get people confused. But if you go to collections and pull out the Festival of the Lost Mask, every player can have their own unique ornament that will very clearly stand out from the others. These will be at 0 power, but as long as one person doesn't wear the mask, all the other people will be pulled up to that person's level, so it doesn't even matter. You can also use certain exotics with visual effects like Necrotic Grips to see invisible statues, although they don't always show up for me, so don't rely on this too heavily. You're missing out on guaranteed exotics and you might not even know it. I see people all the time in the Echo Battlegrounds just run past these Radiolite collectible things. But if you pick up all of these along the way, you'll be able to dunk them at the end of the mission and get really good loot, including seasonal weapons, red borders, and a very high chance at exotics. Taken Hobgoblins and Servitors will make enemies immune to all damage, but this doesn't affect super damage. So if you ever need to deal damage to an immune target, you can simply pop your super and kill it. Or if you're running Well of Radiance, all your weapons will count as super damage, allowing you to drop this onto a boss and get optimal DPS during a damage phase. In the Fallen Saber Strike, you have to carry this ball and weave in and out of lightning surges while suicide bombers attempt to blow you up. But if you pick up the ball right as the lightning passes, you can sprint, slide, all the way to the end very quickly, without needing to worry about lightning or exploder shanks. You can get tons of kills very quickly. The Whisper mission has returned, and with it came the old Thrall way. Load into the Whisper mission and continue forward until you reach the green room. Fall into the hole in the middle, then run to the back. Shadow Thrall will infinitely spawn here, allowing you to rack up tons of kills so you can quickly finish catalysts, level up crafted weapons, and complete quests. And now the mission has a 40-minute timer, rather than the old 20-minute timer, so you can be in here for a lot longer than you used to. You can change the perks of adept weapons. If you earn an adept weapon from a raid, specifically King's Fall, Crota's End, Root of Nightmares, Valid Disciple, or Salvation's Edge, you can enhance these weapons in the weapon screen, then take them to the Enclave and reshape them. You aren't able to change the main perks or the masterwork, but you can change the barrels in the magazine to make them perfect for your playstyle. You can play Destiny 2 with your voice. There's an app on Steam called VoiceBot that will listen to your voice as you talk. Then you can make it do whatever you want it to, depending on which words you say. So if I say a boba, I jump. And if I say milk job, I walk forward. I used this on stream the other day at twitch.tv/marshixprime to beat an entire mission with just my voice. But be very careful because this could potentially get you banned since this is technically a macro and Bungie's rules are not clear when it comes to macros. I played it safe and used only single keyboard inputs, so nothing a human couldn't easily replicate. But the reason why I even mention this is because this can actually be extremely helpful for people with disabilities. Maybe it's hard to press certain buttons or do things in rapid succession. This can help with all of that. It can help people with inventory management, shatter skating, and everything in between. Try at your own risk, but if you do have a disability and this helps put you on an even playing field, I don't think Bungie would have any problem with it. Milk job! This next trick gives you constant suspending explosions. Well, you have to click on this video to see how. Thanks for watching, I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.